Howdy guys, welcome back to Edgeworth Investigations. Here we go. I've left the mask investigation of Francis and return to Babal. I suppose my first order of business should be to look into Babal's statue. That sounds about right, because in the last episode we found out that Babal's statue was for some reason over in the other place or something. Man, you guys came running in unison. It's okay, what's the situation? Oh, it's great! Investigating is so much fun! In other words, they made absolutely no progress. We weren't goofing off, honest sir. We've been investigating our hearts out. Very well then, would you care to give me an update on your investigation? Alright, well, you know, I have faith. We had a really fun time, sir. I knew it. Zero progress. Well, just because they had fun doesn't mean they didn't make progress. Or else they wouldn't call this a game. You know? Do you? Oh, you do now. As a local detective, I'm helping out with investigations on both sides. Okay. Good. Do it. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. Yeah, you can have that undershirt. I don't want a thing to do with that. They belong to the lady under the pink princess's mask. Notice he doesn't say who it is. What kind of lady was playing her, sir? The kind that was also playing the role of the pink badger yesterday. Oh no. Oh, at least she won't whip you. You know? If I happen to run into her, I'll give them back to her. Oh, that slump. You just know that slump, man. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. Put them in the incinerator is probably... Evidence that has lost their value, given to Detective Gumshoe. Okay. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore, either. He's given away the autograph? Is your friendship with Larry so worthless to you? Yes, because that Steel Samurai was a fake. There's no... What? What do you mean by fake? Now that I believe it's time for a little horse keeping. Unnecessary evidence has been removed, remaining evidence has been rearranged. Okay, good. Well, let's take a look. Let's see, what do we have here? We still have the thing, we still have the body, the golden body. We still have both knives, we still have Babal's statue. And we still have the A statue. Yes, we do. Okay. Just A and B, you know. That's kind of what I've been calling them in my head, because it's like there's A for Alabast, there's B for Babal, and when they're together it's C for Cadopia. It's kind of weird. But that makes it easier to remember, so... It's all good to have you back, Kay. Yes? Investigation update. Oh, they're watching the Super Bowl out there. The Super Bowl is on as I'm recording this. So this might be dating the video a little bit. Usually I don't record this far ahead, but I'm getting a little anxious to see what goes on in this case. So I've kind of just decided to keep going. So how's the investigation going in the Bob Elise Secretary's office? Even though we found a few treasures, they've all been pretty much burnt to a crisp. Oh, well. Anything else? Oh, that's right. You know what I found in that office? A wooden bear carving. It's so cute. Can I have it, huh? Can I? No, of course you can't. This is not a princess cruise. By the sound of things, it appears that there has been no progress. That's the third time you've said that, Edgy. But you know what? I understand. I'm trying to do a job here, you know? Let's talk to Gumshoe here. Mr. Edgeworth, how's it going, buddy? You look like you're enjoying yourself. For someone who's about to go see Old Bag. Well, I don't have much else that I enjoy as much as a good investigation, sir. So, what'd you find out? Oh, well... What? I take it he has found nothing of any particular use, as usual. Well, there's still an investigation update prompt that you have to give me, so I've earned that at least. Huh? Or is it something interesting? This, sir? Wow, that's so pretty! I'm so jealous! That's a real treasure there! Why does the flame burn green, detective? So apparently if you burn the special wit crystal oil, that they only make in Babal. It burns green. Oh. Yeah, someone mentioned in the comments, and I didn't even think about this, that if the fake money is indistinguishable from the real money, then how do they know which bills were made with the ink and which ones weren't? That's a way that we might be able to tell. I suppose this is a ploy to force people to visit Babal should the oil run out. Hey, Gummy, what about these silhouettes? They stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lantern so it would project the images. Oh. Silhouettes, huh? They are rather pretty, aren't they? Edgeworth, my god. You said the word pretty. Wait, what am I doing? I was supposed to be asking for an update on the investigation. You were hypnotized. Or something. Something I want you to investigate for me. Do you think you can do that much? Yeah. I can do that much. Hey, that's not fair. Why is Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff? Ah, well, that's because I'm Mr. Edgeworth's partner. And you... Can't believe you took advantage of the confusion and stole my role as assistant. Dude, I'm sorry, but I'd already had an assistant and I didn't have the nerve to tell you, okay? Alright. Well... Okay, so, I reckon that's probably it for that. We'll talk to this dude over here. Did you find out anything, or you were just standing around with your thumb up your butt? So, you're back now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? You must be tired. Here, with these you can eat whatever you'd like. And these are... No, more! More! I have like 8 of these now! Oh... I appreciate the concern, however, these coupons do nothing for me right now. Well... You can still go eat. Open air stage. Just like where the performance. Well, normally we use it for a variety of events. It's all to attract that extra bit of attention to Babal. I heard that tonight, over in the Alabastian Rose Garden, Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too. Mr. Cochin told you that? Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. It was totally my idea, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. Oh, okay, I thought you were going to say because you had, like, anxiety about it or something. Alright. Ambassador Palaeno, I'd like to ask you a little more about these statues. Well, let me ask you this. Did you know that Alabast and Babal used to be one country called Cadobia? Yep. Well, the Primadux statue belonged to the founders of Cadobia. At least that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed unto the king of Cadobia as a symbol of the country's wealth. So it's meant as a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it. Yes, that's right, which is why both countries were so adamant about their claim. We hold the real statue, therefore we hold the right to rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it, though, I suppose. Yes, it is. But if Alabast and Babal were to re-establish relations, shouldn't that put an end to the squabbling over the statue? I have no reason to believe so. The Primadux statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy. Ooh, alright. Yeah, well, perhaps I should try showing him this key. See what he has to say about it. Ah, alright. We'll get back to that in a second. Ambassador Palaeno, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you about. Even though I've already asked you like 4 or 5 other things, just one more thing. Is it 2 or 3? Oh my god, these tickets, man! Just the one thing is all I require. Manny Cochin, I'd like to ask you about this man who was your secretary. Sure, I'll tell you what I know. Thank you for your cooperation. He was, well, if I had to put it in one word, he was an able man. He could walk. He could even talk. Can you believe that? If there was ever anything I needed as an ambassador, he was able to get it for me. To think that a man like that... Oh, if only you knew. Had a hand in a smuggling ring right under my nose, going completely unnoticed. Actually, I suppose because he was an able man, I was unable to detect his dirty dealings. Sounds like he had a very sharp mind indeed. Yeah. Stop and take a drink. I still got onions in my mouth because I've been eating spaghetti. Recently, he'd been very busy. Since then, you're working tirelessly to cover your work for... Oh, okay, he's been covering your work for you. What is this, Country Unification Council? This CUC? This cuck? Well, you see, had tonight's events proceeded without a hitch, our two countries were to reunify and become one again. Really? I guess with how things turned out, that dream won't be realized anytime soon. I suppose not. Smack, and smack is smack. Alright, so present the statue. Wait a minute, which one? Try this one. Master Palaeno, if you could please take a look at this for me. Yeah. The prima duck statue sitting in alabaster right now actually belongs to Babal. So it would appear. I received a call from Miss Von Karma about this earlier. And you will understand why I wish to inspect Babal's prima duck statue immediately. Because the statue currently in your country's possession... Yes, I've already inspected it myself. And it is definitely alabaster statue. I know because it's the real statue. Oh. Well, somebody had to settle for it, and they certainly weren't going to do it knowingly, right? Well, I guess they did do it knowingly, though. Wait, I forgot to plug in my headphones. Hang on. Yeah, at some point I also turned down my 3DS before, so sorry about that. I hardly even hear the music for most of that last video. I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. I received my orders from the leaders of Babal, and I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. To say that we would not determine which statue was the real one. That we could not, actually. Why are you telling me this? Because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow gold shell. Even if Babal were to lose face, the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right? If you don't know yourself, I won't pretend to know either. I never thought that by being betrayed by my own secretary, the real symbol of wealth would be given to me. Isn't it simply ironic? That is pretty weird. Was he, like, playing both sides, or was he really, like, working for the other ones? Totally, and just pretending to work for you. Where are you going? Are you heading back to Alabast? Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened. Sure. Okay. Flashback! Recap! Never mind. So there's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country. That's pretty much the gist of it. You ever heard that Smashing Pumpkins album? Gist? Pretty good. Oh, no. The album's called Gish. My bad, I almost forgot. Babal is just as strict as Alabast in their inspection of the people and things that enter their country. Meaning that somehow both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. That's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Perhaps the key to the weapon smuggling is the person who traversed both countries. Ooh. Yeah, I can see that. I believe it was the Rose Garden. The Rose Garden was where the Yatagarasu was first spotted. Okay. So the garden's just on the other side of this boundary. I'm liking this music. Glad I decided to plug in my headphones. It's where Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight. At least that's where I heard the Yatagarasu had appeared. We saw his shadow, anyway. Or her shadow. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the Rose Garden post-haste. Surprised we haven't gone there sooner. Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. What is that, a guitar pick? Do you play? Oh my god, it really is! I was just saying that. Just picked it up over there. Do you think it'll be of any use? Don't tell me. Oh my gosh, what if he's here? It's a little water on it, but how did the water get on it? Because it was on the ground and maybe it rained? I don't know. I was thinking they have concerts here at this open-air stage. Oh, well, yeah, I suppose so. I'll find its owner later. Pick data. It's an interesting-looking pick. Oh, yeah, there's one more thing. One more. It's fine. Mr. Edgeworth, would you be willing to hold on to this? Oh my god, here we go. It's the perfume. Why do you still have that? You still have that! Oh. Thought that one day it'd be of some use in tracking her down. So I kept it safe all this time. Get the dog in here. Thank you. I'd be honored to hold on to it for you. Oh, Edgeworth. I just love the dichotomy with these two. It's so good. I'm not even sure if dichotomy is the right word. Because isn't that like opposites? Or look at this. Alright. We're running around. I think I'll be returning to the investigation in Alabasta now, but I know. I'll go back to Babal and do some more investigating there. Ooh, alright. So this is the Rose Garden. I haven't really gotten to see this yet. I see your back, Miles Edgeworth. Oh god, who is this? Is it gonna be him? You? I just saw you like 2 minutes ago! How are things in Babal? Although I can't really say I expect much from Scruffy and that girl. The investigation into Manny Koten's death hasn't really progressed any. However, the investigation into the Yatagarasu has. Oh yes, that. Even now I find it hard to believe. A person who can freely traverse between the two countries at will? Preposterous. Well, that's what I came here to investigate. I heard that this is where witnesses claim to have seen the Yatagarasu. That's correct. Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight here in Alabasta. That's when the Yatagarasu appeared. The shadow of the mysterious thief appeared and just as suddenly it vanished. After that, there was the fire at the Babalese embassy that the Yatagarasu started. I vow that not a single feather from the Yatagarasu shall escape my diligence. Feather? So what is it, a bird? Jeez. Maybe he's riding a bird like Link or something. Alright, well. See, you guys are over here. Man, oh my gosh, I would totally sleep here. It's beautiful. The statue here. The statue bears a resemblance to the Primadux statue. The Pnock says King Primadux in the battlefield. In order to save the Queen, King Primadux put his life on the line and went to war. So Primadux was actually a person of royal blood. I thought he was simply some asshole imitating a character from an ancient legend. But what surprises me is that a real person who looked like the Steel Samurai existed. Well, I suppose there's that too. Pieces. There is an overturned spotlight here. You thought to use your whip to capture the Yatagarasu, however, there were people in my way, and I was unable to land even a single lash. I suppose this means that some other poor saps were hit instead. Yeah, probably. Not that she cares. Alright, let's go nice and slow here, they don't miss anything. So we have... Wow. Alright. Statue of a woman. I wonder if the lady is pouring water. It says that it's a statue of the Queen who spoke of love to King Primadux. Well, Miles Edgeworth, seems you were lousy at reading a woman's heart. I opened my mouth about a statue and she somehow made the leap to that? Well, you know how it is, Edgy. Examine. Another overturned spotlight. When the Yatagarasu appeared, the audience that was waiting for the speech to start panicked. I suppose that's when someone must have knocked it over. Yeah. This is all the same thing, no matter which one you check. Something just happened out there. There are roses scattered on the surface of the water, creating a pleasant fragrance. It's not just for aesthetics, this pool's water is also used in putting out fires. Oh, fires, well how convenient. The pool stopped filling itself automatically. The fountain spouts are set to stay open until the pool's water reaches a certain level. If this water is used to put out fires, I suppose it must be refilled to its normal level. Yeah, I guess so. Let's bounce data. What are you doing in there? Oh my god, this dude never goes away. I mean, not that I mind. He's a cool dude, though. How dare you surprise me like that? I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Edgy. Thanks for what you did back there. Your gratitude alone is enough. More importantly, Larry, this pool is not for your personal enjoyment. I know that. Do you really think that I'm the type to just jump into a pool and swim around for fun? Well, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I would. If I could. Recollecting the money off of the bottom or something? Nice guess, but no dice. So you know my son, right, Edgy? Wait a minute. Your son? Oh boy. I guess I kind of lost sight of him when I shook hands with the ambassador. Please tell me you're talking about the Steel Samurais. Oh, they were. He did have a kid, though, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he was around here when I last saw him. How can you be so flippant at a time like this? What are you gonna do if your son fell into the pool? How old is this child of yours anyway? Huh? Oh, how old is he again? Hold it. Larry? This is the first time I've heard of a son. Who exactly is the mother? The mother? Oh, that chick, the pink princess. Yeah. No, it's gonna take us forever to get to the point here, isn't it? Miss Von Karma, I was a bit confused by this man's words for a bit there. However, I believe what he's looking for is the doll of the Iron Infant. Yes, that. Yep, because I'm the Steel Samurai through and through, heart and soul. And the Iron Infant is my cute little son. You've given a whole new meaning to the phrase, an astounding fool. Dude, you ever seen Castaway? You need to sit down and watch Castaway, right? And, you know, see what happens there. Anyway. We've not seen hide nor hair of the Iron Infant. Well, I don't think an infant made of iron would have much hair. But, just, that's a thought, maybe. Yes, please get out of the pool. Now the water's gonna have to refill again. Hey, wait. I got a new complaint. Not as if he'll get very far swimming around in that pool. And though he's unrelated to the murders, he sure knows how to cause a lot of trouble. Jeez. Alright. So can we, like, walk up here and maybe run or walk? There's a stool here. How do I... Suppose Ambassador Alba sat in this chair? Ambassador Alba is very elderly. The chair was prepared for him should he have gotten tired during his speech. In that case, why didn't he plan to make his speech sitting down in the first place? Well, how boring would that be? You wouldn't be able to... Well, yeah, that too. It's just not as good if you're not standing up. They call it stand-up comedy for a reason, you know? Have you ever heard of sit-down comedy? No. Because sit-down comedy is not funny at all. Just look at me. Anyway, okay. Alright, anyway. Okay, Mr. MIB, you are my #1 suspect right now. How's the investigation proceeding on your end? Lang Z says that's top secret. If you're going to attempt to imitate your superior, at least do it well. I suppose he believes in the accidental the accidental leakage of information here. Alright, bring on that theme, let me tell you. Have you finished checking out all the bystanders? Yes, sir. And we found 14 counts of pickpocketing, 16 counts of illegal parking, and 1 person ran a light, sir. Don't tell me you didn't find out anything related to the case. Sir, not a single thing, sir. You wouldn't find anything, would you? Oh, that was a snap of the fingers. You're in trouble. Let's get those other lawbreakers down to the precinct. Agent Lang. Well, if it isn't the belle of the ball. I'd just like to thank you for your assistance earlier. Make no mistake, it's not like I was trying to help you with what I did. After I left, did you receive word from Ambassador Alba? We're to wrap up our bodyguard assignment at the end of today. Oddly enough, we received word from HQ to return home on an urgent matter. What? As if I can be so easily called away from this case after I've come this far. I swear that I'll find the truth and I'll drag it out screaming into the light. You're with me on that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Yeah, totally. So I like this guy too, man. I think I mentioned that in the last episode, though. You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So naturally, you witnessed when the Yatagarasu appeared, right? Yeah, I saw the thief alright, with my own 2 eyes. The Yatagarasu was always there lurking in the shadows. But when the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. That's when the cries of, "It's the Yatagarasu!" rang out. The next second, the spotlight went out. By the time we got the area lit again, the deaf thief had vanished. Well, naturally. When we investigated afterwards, we found out the reason the lights went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. Excuse me. Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who had tripped over, we don't know. But one thing is for certain, the Yatagarasu was here. So you're saying that basically all you saw was the thief's silhouette? Yes. Uh-oh. If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible that the shadow belonged to someone else. Yeah, good thinking, sis. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with that same shape, not among the staff or the audience members. Oh god, what if this is another thing, like the vase, you know, that looks like the blue badger, where you have to turn it a certain way? I wonder. My men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right. Someone else's shadow. Sounds like a plausible hypothesis. It does. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. I believe I figured out its true origin. You have? Expected no less from my subordinate. Well, that's good, because apparently you haven't figured it out, have you? If you have, I'd love to hear it. What really cast the shadow? We're talking about this now? Okay, hang on a second. Now that I look at it, it kind of... I mean, when I look at this, it looks like a person with the head to the right looking down. And then what's behind him is just their hair. But it definitely looks like it could have been one of the leaves, like one of these. That seems like the most likely. Well, let's look. Huh. Well, actually, the leaves don't really have those jagged edges the way the hair does, though. But this one over here seems to a little bit. Well, actually, no, not that one either, really. Trying to figure this out. Dang, man. Alright. There's gotta be something here. Maybe it is. Well, if you look at where the spotlights are, there were 2 spotlights, right? There's like one over here, and there's one over here, and they were both behind. Well, this one wasn't really behind it, but maybe it was before it got knocked over. So I think maybe the statue was made by 2 different things at the same time. Like, I want to say that, but I also want to say this. Someone accidentally click something. Well, let's just try something here. I don't know if I want to start doing... Well, it doesn't seem like it's very easy to die in this game, so... The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. Is it not possible it was created by this statue? Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Edgeworth? The statue bears absolutely no resemblance to the shadow. I know, but I'm just... You're correct. However, the statue is but one part of the whole picture. Oh, here we go. Okay, good on you, Edgeworth. What is the other real form of the statue? Of the shadow, I mean. It was like both statues. I don't think the leaves actually have anything to do with it. It would make more sense to be like the statues. It's another statue. The Yatagarasu's shadow was made from the shadows of these two statues. Made? What do you mean by that? Right now the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panicked state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared, you believe that the two shadows would create the Yatagarasu's shadow. Precisely. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagarasu. What if it turns out the Yatagarasu just doesn't even exist, you know? First, if we set up a spotlight to cast the shadow of King Primadux in the battlefield. Oh my god, look at that! Even that there looks pretty badass. Likewise, if we set a light up on the queen who spoke of love to King Primadux, her silhouette would also appear on the backdrop to the stage. Wait a minute though, that doesn't really go with... No, it doesn't. Miles Edgeworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape? Well, maybe the shadow got pregnant, I don't know. The way the light needs to be shown on the queen statue is wrong. What do you mean by that? I believe that the whole of the king's shadow needs to be used for this to work. Yeah? However, in the case of the queen, I don't believe her whole shadow is needed. Rather, the person who created the shadow only used one part of her shadow. Only one part? Yes, and that one part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Yatagarasu's shadow. Why didn't you say that in the first place? You're right, I apologize. Now, what part of the queen's statue was used? Well, see, that's the part that doesn't make any sense. Ugh. Because the rest of it, she doesn't have, like, any huge hair. I mean, it must not have... Holy crap. Oh my god, I totally see it. It's the hand, isn't it? The hand makes like the exact same shape. And the spotlight must have been like right on it. Oh, that's so cool. Think back to what is missing in our shadow. 5 long, thin areas, correct? What does that remind you of? Oh, it reminds me of the water hands! No, it can only be the shadow of the queen's left hand. Franziska, can we please adjust the spotlight's position? Why am I lisping so much tonight? So that it only shines on the queen's left hand. Let's give it a try and see what we get. That is so cool! That really was kind of like the other puzzle with the pot. Or the jar, whatever. Huh, so they wanted people to think that the Yatagarasu was over here. Of course, unless they were working with the Yatagarasu, only the Yatagarasu... If the Yatagarasu is working by himself or herself, then he or she would have set that up in advance. Otherwise, if someone else set it up in advance because they were working with him to help him by making people think that he was somewhere else. I don't know. It's too much to think about right now. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's still a likely story, though. I haven't figured out how yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. I sense that the biggest clue yet. Well, yeah, that's true, though. He couldn't have gotten from one country to the other, so it makes sense. You know, you have an accomplice in the other country, and then all you need is a couple cell phones and you're good to go. Oh, wow, actually, that was kind of quick. That was really good, though. How's the investigation going? Oh, hey, Bad, what's up? Detective Bad, you've come to join us in investigating the Yatagarasu. I've left the murder in Agent Lang's charge. Well, that's good. And my only target from the very beginning is the Yatagarasu, so yes. So what have you found out? I got a piece of evidence. May I see it? Sure, but you might regret it. What is it, a dildo? We're here because we are ready to face whatever may come. So if you please. When people heard the commotion, bystanders started gathering, and one woman claimed, "I'm telling you, I'm a genuine international journalist." Oh god. She gave me an interesting picture. A journalist? Well, actually, she's a freelance. Cameraman. Camera woman. I don't know. This is the photo I got from her. What? What in the world? So here we go. Now this is going to be like the flying thing, the flying nun on fire from case 3-5. And that's going to turn out to be like a fly or something on the camera. So what in the world? Anyway. Yatagarasu is flying through the air. The times, they are changing. It's not just man, but evidence. Even they lie to us now. When was this photo taken? Apparently right after the fires. On the 4th and 5th floors were put out. Excuse me. It was taken from a nearby building that you can see the embassy from. I see. So this was taken after the fire. After the fire, we gotta remember that. Of course, it'll probably say it in the list. The blur in this picture took off from the Babalese embassy, flew over the cuckoo's nest, and headed for the embassy of Alabas. I somehow doubt that. I know, people are incapable of flight, man. I love it when they get into this stuff. Is that a fact? I've had the pleasure of dealing with a case involving a flying person once. Yep. You remember. You were there. Actually, come to think of it, I've come across a case like that as well. 2, actually. Oh, yeah, there was the other one with the, oh, that freaking one with the guy in the wheelchair. Anyway, it happens more often than we think. Am I up to the task of solving the mystery behind this photograph? Hell yeah, I am! Well, the Yatagarasu took off from the Babalese embassy, so I should start from there. Francisca, I need to return to the Babal investigation for a bit. Alright. Yeah, despite what she might say about me being like her assistant or whatever, we really are getting to work together a lot on this, aren't we? Like, there's a sense that we are both kind of looking out in the same direction. Do I even need to talk to anybody here? I seriously doubt it. We already talked to Agent Lang. Mr. Bad told us what he needed to. So we need to go back to Babal. I'll continue investigating on this side of the building. Alright, I'm counting on you, Master.